A delivery driver shot and carjacked in Baltimore. Look at the attack and calls from business owners for more protection. Bills on pronouns and leaf blowers on the agenda for city leaders. Fox 45 News takes a look at why many are saying crime has been pushed to the back burner.
As you know, 1 is deceased and 4 are fighting for their lives.
And we're continuing to follow the manhunt for a mass shooting suspect in Atlanta. The latest on the search as we learn more about the suspect's background.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News at 6.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Mary Bubala. A delivery driver shot and carjacked overnight. He is joining a growing list of people falling victim to violent crime while trying to work in the city. Fox 45's Alexa Ashwell joins us in the studio with more on this attack. Alexa?
Mary, the frustration simply mounting. Yet another person has fallen victim to gun violence while simply trying to earn a living here in Baltimore. This time, a pizza delivery driver. Just before 11:30 last night, Baltimore police respond to this neighborhood outside of Druid Hill Park in northwest Baltimore after reports of a shooting.
Hey, the victim in the shooting is a pizza delivery.
Listen, as police detailed to 911 dispatch what officers find at the scene. A pizza delivery driver, while delivering an order, shot in the face and leg.
Yeah, he's shot in the face, and it looks like the right thigh area.
The suspects then stealing his car.
They made off with his car. That's the vehicle they pulled off in. It's a 2006 Honda CRV.
The victim rushed to an area hospital as police begin their investigation. According to the department, the 55-year-old delivery driver, while making a delivery, was approached by 2 men here on Cottage Avenue. The suspects, investigators say, announced a robbery, and during it, one of the men shot the victim. The delivery driver, the latest person to fall victim to violence here in Baltimore, while simply working.
2500 Boston, T-Mobile, male shot inside of location.
Just this week, 23-year-old Fabian Sanchez Gonzalez was shot and killed by armed robbers while working at this T-Mobile in Canton.
I'm sad for him. I'm sad for his family. The PTSD that it's bringing back to me.
The homicide bringing back traumatic memories for Jody Rossoff when she says her shop in Highlandtown was also robbed at gunpoint just weeks ago. Rossoff frustrated by the level of crime in Baltimore as well as the handling of criminals. After more than 40 years in business, Rossoff is deciding to close her business, saying it's simply not safe.
This is our second armed robbery in 6 months. We have been here in the city for 44 years. For 44 years, we have paid property taxes, we have paid retail sales taxes, we have employed people. Shame on the mayor. Shame on, the judges and the prosecutors and our former state's attorney for letting this happen to Baltimore City.
Calling for city leaders to do more as a delivery driver now lies in the hospital, shot while on the job. I checked with police. The department would not confirm if the victim's vehicle has been found. No suspect description has been released. Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
Alexa, thank you. And as she mentioned, another Baltimore family is mourning after their loved one was killed while simply working. The family of 23-year-old Fabian Sanchez Gonzalez is speaking with Fox 45 News. He's the T-Mobile employee shot over the weekend in Canton during an armed robbery. He died days later.
It breaks our heart to know that we lost my brother to 2 criminals run wild in this city. Nobody wants to hear their son at work doing an honest job being shot over people trying to steal phones, money, or whatever they're trying to do.
Fabian's family members are calling on city leaders to do something to get the city's crime crisis under control. The search for Fabian's killer continues. According to Baltimore police, homicides and non-fatal shootings are still down from last year. As of this morning, 89 people have been killed and 199 people have survived shootings. That's compared to more than 100 homicides and 200 non-fatal shootings last year at this time. Now, despite those crime numbers, some are still questioning what Baltimore City leaders are focusing on. With their agendas, including pronouns and gas-powered leaf blowers, many say they need to turn their attention back to crime full-time. Fox 45's Maxine Stryker has the story.
Well, some say the mayor and city council don't seem focused enough on addressing the crime crisis, instead focusing on smaller things, and some city residents are taking notice. As crime continues to plague Baltimore City, our elected leaders focused on stopping it.
Crime is the #1 issue. Everybody knows it except our office holders.
On the council agenda Monday night, a bill sponsored by Christopher Burnett prohibiting the willful use of the incorrect name or pronouns of an individual under certain circumstances. On WBAL Radio's TJ Smith show, Smith wondering where the council's priorities lie.
Doesn't mean we can't do more than one thing at a time, but prioritize those things and make sure if we're going to have the conversation about how difficult, it is to do certain things like fight the crime in the schools, education and everything. Let's make sure we're putting that as a top priority all the time. It has to be.
Callers also expressing concern.
We've had 300 murders a year in this city and however many shootings. We have failing schools being covered up by corruption. And we have far too many real victims, and that we don't need any more because people had their feelings hurt.
And this isn't the first time council members' priorities have been called into question this year. Councilman Ryan Dorsey's proposal in March to ban gas-powered leaf blowers received blowback.
Put your focus on the crime. The crime is sincerely out of hand.
Over the weekend, 23-year-old Fabian Sanchez Gonzalez was shot and killed during an armed robbery in Canton, Zeke Cohen's district.
And for me, I am committing to doing everything within my power to both hold the police department accountable, to bring the perpetrators to justice.
Community leader Pastor P.M. Smith questioning why Cohen isn't calling for the criminals to be held accountable.
He's holding the wrong people accountable. Go get the criminals.
A similar story played out in Annapolis this session as a bill limiting legal gun owners got the green light.
We're attacking folks that are doing the right thing, having a classroom hours, going to get the certification, and are more cognizant about the challenges if they are able to use their firearm, but being in a situation if they do have to, that it would be there versus the illegal firearms. We're doing things kind of backwards.
But tough on crime legislation failed to make it through once again, leaving Baltimore hoping for change for another year. We emailed every council member today asking them what issue currently facing the city is their top priority. We did not hear back from any. In Baltimore, Maxine Stryker, Fox 45 News.
And this brings us to our question of the day. Do you think current city leadership can fix the crime problem? So far, 98% say no. You can vote right now by going to foxbaltimore.com/vote.
Now, a Fox 45 News alert in 3, 2, 1.
We're following the latest right now, that deadly mass shooting out of Atlanta, Georgia. A manhunt is underway. This is a live look at the police response tonight. Police say a gunman entered a medical facility this afternoon, shooting and killing one person and injuring 4 others. Officers identified the suspect as a 24-year-old man, but right now they don't know where he is. Now, police are looking for this man. They've identified him as Dion Patterson. All the victims were women. Patterson is a former member of the United States Coast Guard. He was discharged this January. The suspect is still on the loose, and officials say he's armed and dangerous.
We believe he carjacked a vehicle a short distance away and was able to flee the scene as the law enforcement agencies were descending on this area.
Well, officers have now lifted that shelter-in-place order. Atlanta police also say the suspect's family is cooperating. We'll keep you updated on the manhunt and the victim's conditions. Mary?
Guy, thank you. Around the state, a child hit by a car in Baltimore County. It happened on Ridge Avenue in Hellthorpe, not far from Lamb of God School. Police say the child was attempting to cross the street when it happened. The child was taken to a nearby hospital. At this time, their condition is not known. The driver did remain on the scene, and an investigation investigation is ongoing. One person is dead after a fire in Pasadena. Anne Arundel County firefighters say when they arrived, heavy flames were coming from out the house. When our crews got there, the smoke was still heavy and the home smoldering. We're told that both wind and heavy smoke made fighting that fire difficult. Now they're trying to find out what caused the fire. When it was put out, the man who is believed to be the homeowner was located. We are told that the man's family has been notified. Well, a vaccine to stop a disease that kills thousands of Americans every year, when the new drug could start saving lives.
Do you think your employer cares about your well-being? I'm Angela Brown in Washington, D.C. A recent survey, the troubling findings and the economic costs for companies who don't care.
And overnight tonight, more of the same. Some patchy clouds, could even have a couple of rain showers this evening. We'll let you know when we will finally kick this rainy and gloomy pattern and when 70s and sun could be back in my Weather Authority forecast.
The FDA has approved the world's first vaccine for RSV. The respiratory virus causes mild cold-like symptoms. The drug is a single-dose shot for adults over 60. According to trial data, the vaccine lowers the risk of illness by 83% and severe illness by 94%. The shot could be available as soon as the fall if it gets the okay from the CDC.
In due course, we're working our way down the age ladder. A vaccine that we can give to women who are pregnant so they can pass their protection on through the placenta so that their newborn baby is protected against RSV.
In the U.S., RSV hit hard this past cold season. It is the leading cause of hospitalizations among newborns. It also kills roughly 14,000 adults each year. 3 other RSV vaccines for older adults are also in the final phases of testing. The Federal Trade Commission accuses Facebook of failing to protect children's privacy on its Messenger Kids app. The FTC says Facebook, now called Meta, is misleading parents about security controls, allowing children to communicate with unapproved contacts on the app. It wants to ban the social media company from monetizing the data of users under 18. The FTC is also trying to limit its use of facial recognition technology. Facebook now has 30 days to respond to the proposal. Well, do you think your boss cares about your well-being? A recent report says more workers are saying no. The National Desk's Angela Brown explains the economic consequences.
Now, here's a list companies want to be on. Newsweek's America's 100 Most Loved Workplaces, and there's Conduent at 80.
Take care of your people and they'll take care of your clients.
Chris Kajawa, Chief Human Resource Officer at Conduent, is navigating the aftershocks of the pandemic and high inflation.
That's all created extra stress. And we know there's just really a mental health crisis in the U.S., right? So all of those things, people bring themselves to work, and those things come with them.
A recent Gallup survey found that only 24% of employees feel strongly that their organization cares about their well-being, dropping from 49% in May of 2020, the onset of the pandemic.
Managers need to have at least one meaningful conversation with each person each week.
Jim Harder, Chief Workplace Scientist for Gallup, is the author of the study and believes not caring comes at a high price.
When employees start to separate themselves psychologically from the organization and don't feel that leadership is really looking out for them, all that discretionary effort that's put in to improve customers' relationships with the organization and improve customer loyalty and engagement and customer retention starts to deteriorate. And we're starting to see that in the data.
Conduent delivers digital business solutions.
Conduent claims one reason they made the list, their value proposition for people.
One is we want to create an environment where people can be themselves, right? We want to create an environment where people can grow and thrive, which is what you just said. And then the last one is we call it making a difference.
Gallup found that employees who strongly agree that their employer cares about their overall well-being were less likely to search for a new job and experience burnout. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Well, earning their place in history, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announces its new inductees. The class of 2023 features a diverse group of names, including Missy Elliott, Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, and the late George Michael. Elliott makes history as the first female hip-hop artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rockers Rage Against the Machine also joining the list of inductees.
All right, a beautiful look at the Fox triple cast this evening. Going down the ocean, we got some of those gloomy clouds and a couple of rain showers out to the west of you folks. And those rain showers are actually encroaching on portions of the Baltimore metro area right now. You take a look at the Toyota H Harbor Skycam and some raindrops trying to come down. And there it is, the latest weather maker impacting us on the HD radar, southwestern side of the Beltway, all the way down 295. You're getting wet and pretty good here. Even maybe downtown Baltimore, not too far away from the Skycam, there are some showers that are trying to fall. And also, actually, north and west of the city. So it's a wet end to our afternoon and our early evening commute. And there's more of this to come. Take a look at the HD radar. Same story, different day. Swirling low pressure system, that's our latest weather maker. You see the moisture on the eastern side coming from south to north, and on the western side going from north to south. And we're kind of smack dab in the middle here in Baltimore. So cool, some clouds, a little bit of limited sunshine. We've got the sprinkles and the light showers as well this afternoon, this evening. But finally, this system that's been providing us with all of the showers, the breezy conditions, the unsettled kind of gloomy weather. Look at what's happening. It is gradually, painstakingly moving east and southeast. And I think by tomorrow, it weakens a little more. It's a little farther toward off the coast. And then I think finally we may count in a dry day on Friday, although there's an outside chance of an afternoon spritz. 53 degrees right now. Cool again today. Highs only in the 50s, just like yesterday. Winds out of the north at 10 miles an hour, making it feel even cooler. Humidity at 59%. Toyota H Harbor Skycam shows the story with the clouds mixing with a little bit of sunshine and a couple of sprinkles coming down all at the same time. Right now, temperatures are all in the 50s, except look at you, Westminster. 45 with those showers coming through. Winds have been about 10, 15 miles an hour. Some gusts up to about 20 to 30 miles an hour at times. And we continue into this evening to stick with the cool temperatures, the patchy clouds, and especially through just after sunset, the spot showers. Now, notice by tomorrow morning, could get a little bit of clearing. That could actually vault temperatures back down into the mid to upper 30s in places like Westminster. Frederick, temperatures about 40 to 45 elsewhere. And then for tomorrow, here we go again. In the afternoon, there could be a spot sprinkle or light shower. And then as you work into our Thursday night, Friday morning, dries out. And we do it, no, not all over again on Friday. Finally, yes, it looks like there will be some clouds, and this could lead to a sprinkle, but high temperatures back into the mid-60s there, and it gets even better for the weekend. That's all in your exclusive 10-day forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Some very impressive images demonstrating Mother Nature's beauty and power. A photographer captured these photos this week at Moses Lake in central Washington state. Michigan in the month of May, where mowing the lawn in the snow is perfectly acceptable. And it was a cool but gorgeous morning at Big Frog Mountain in southeastern Tennessee.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
1,000 migrants sleeping outside a Texas church. A look at the real impact of an immigration policy ending this week. There are now more than 1,000 migrants camping outside of an El Paso, Texas church as Title 42's expiration date grows closer. Those even with documents worried if they leave, they'll face deportation. Jonathan Mejia from our Sinclair sister station takes a look at what's being done to help migrants off the streets.
Jefferson Bozo is one of the hundreds of undocumented migrants who are living in the streets near downtown El Paso. He says more needs to be done to help people like himself who cannot be helped by the city and finds themselves crowding outside of a non-government shelters.
There will be some enforcement jointly with some other agencies
to address that.
El Paso Border Patrol Sector Chief Anthony Good says U.S. Customs and Border Protection is promising that they will start to take enforcement action soon.
Because, yes, there are hundreds of people there in that area right now. So you will see some enforcement in the near future there. Even
migrants who have proper documents are hesitant to leave the areas outside of local shelters. They say they don't trust that they won't be deported. This Venezuelan migrant says even with documents in hand, he's still fearful. He says he was deported in the past despite saying he had his papers. I reached out to city officials to see how they're planning to help keep order in the area surrounding non-government organizations. A spokesperson said, quote, "We are not asking the migrants to leave the area. We are coordinating with NGOs and the National Red Cross to increase capacity and adding additional NGO shelter sites to help this largely undocumented population get off the streets for their own safety."
All right, here we go. Your exclusive 10-day forecast. We'll say low to mid 60s for tomorrow. But hey, 60s is better than 50. Some spotty showers do come again for the afternoon. There could be a very outside chance of a sprinkle later Friday. Otherwise, mid to upper 60s. How about 70s for the weekend, Saturday, Sunday? There could be a stray spritz later on Sunday, but that's about it. Really nice looking weekend overall after what we've been through. Temperatures up near 80 early next week. A little bit of a bobble down to 69, but nothing like the 50s we've been seeing by next Thursday. And then we're back into the 70s to near 80 into early next weekend.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, finally tonight, a doctor is dancing to help support Alzheimer's research. Take a look at this. MedStar Franklin Square physician Dr. Gregory Domeyer showing off his dance moves, all right, ahead of the Alzheimer's Association Memory Ball fundraiser. 13 competitors, including the doctor, will perform as audience members vote for their favorite by donating. I love the rock and roll feel to that. At the end of the night, the proceeds will go entirely to Alzheimer's research and to support families impacted by the disease. Go doctor. He's all in. All in. Well, that's all for Fox 45 News at 6. Family Feud is next. We'll see you back here for the news at 10 tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a great night.